on this episode of Connecting the Dots.
I like to dive into things that feel interesting, even if I don't know how to do them. The owner came up to me and was like, "Hey, George, you do murals, right?" And I said, at that point, I still have yet to do a mural. And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, okay, you want to do this mural?" "Yeah." And it quickly hit me that I have no idea what I'm doing.
From there, you've gone to do some incredible things. Working to do murals for Adidas, Adult Swim, Atlanta United, ESPN, Lululemon, Mercedes-Benz, Nike, the NFL, and many more. Like, when you kind of reflect, like, what do you think?
Don't be afraid to try out something that you believe in.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots, the #1 podcast for professional development. My name is Adonis Hill, and I am your host. Today, we have a very special guest, a great friend of mine, an incredible human, and a multi-talented artist. And I'm going to read off an introduction because I was just freestyling right there. A Nebraska-born, Detroit-grown, and Atlanta-raised creator, skilled in murals, marketing, graphic design, illustration, and digital illustration. His clients include Adidas, Adult Swim, Atlanta United, ESPN, Lululemon, Mercedes-Benz, Nike, the NFL, and many more. A public speaker and wonderful human, George F. Baker III. Thank you for joining us today, brother.
Man, thank you so much for having me, man.
Absolutely. I had to condense my intro for you. As you've done so much amazing things. You are so amazing. Very glad to have you today. Today, we want to walk through your journey and be able to help our audience share, experience, and kind of learn a bit about you and how you got here. And where I would like to start is your upbringing. Could you talk a bit about, your upbringing? We just touched on Nebraska-born, Detroit, you spent time there. Could you just share about your upbringing?
Yeah, man. First off, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for having me here, man. This is it's a beautiful platform, and so excited to be working with you.
Thank you, man.
But on my upbringing, man, yes, born in Omaha, Nebraska, mainly because I have two military parents. Yeah. That's the only reason why I was a black man in Omaha, Nebraska. But it was beautiful being there. I had a good time, learned a lot about life, learned a lot about connecting with different types of people. Parents got divorced. Mom moved up to Detroit, moved up there with her for a little bit. So shout out to all the children of divorce. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, but yeah, it kind of took me up there to get like a whole different experience, man, and seeing just like so many different cultures. My mom just was very adamant about just trying to make sure that like I knew a lot and I was exposed to a lot. She always used to tell me that was like the greatest gift that you can give to anybody was exposure. Yeah, man, exposing them to new ideas, to new people, to new places. And that just kind of, because of that, I always had like this interest and inclination for like art and cartoons and just all those different subcultures that were a part of that. Yeah.
And I want to go deeper there. What's kind of like a early defining moment when you think about, as you just express, art and creativity? What's kind of like an early defining moment can you identify?
Oh, man. One moment that I'm thinking about right now is back in the day, Cartoon Network used to have Cartoon Fridays.
It used to be popping.
Oh, big time popping. It was a celebration for me. I'm like, for me, my mom used to take me over to KFC. We used to get the 20-piece barbecue chicken wings.
Oh, you like this?
Oh, man, for those that know, those were the ones. We used to get those, and then I would veg out pretty much from 7 p.m. all the way to the night. And I just remember watching like Dexter's Laboratory and just really loving how the art style was. And just trying to like redraw it myself, trying to recreate some of the things I was seeing on there. Was it great?
Good.
But it was something that I was like, I love to do. You know, it brought me some joy in those moments. So like, I'm looking back and I'm like, man, I was really just studying some masters in creativity and animation.
That's a defining moment, watching Dexter's Laboratory, trying to redraw it yourself. How do, and was this this is while you're in Detroit, I imagine?
Yep, this is while I was in Detroit.
So at some point, we went from Detroit to Atlanta. Can you help connect those dots?
Yes.
And in Detroit, we're getting these early, you know, inclinations of art and creativity. Can you connect those dots for me?
Yeah. So, once again, being a child of divorce, my dad, after living in Nebraska, he actually moved over to Hilton Head, South Carolina. That is like the area where a lot of people, or pretty much where my dad's family is from. You know, Hilton Head, Savannah, and everything like that. So, after being in Detroit till I was 11, moved back down here with my dad.
Okay.
Stayed in Hilton Head for probably like 1 or 2 years. Dad got a pharmacy job up here at Atlanta Medical Center. And moved up here in Atlanta when Knuck If You Buck came out, so 2003.
Boy.
And I'm telling you, it was a move. And I've been here ever since, man, ever since 6th grade. Yeah.
I'm kind of putting together all the things that's transpired up until this point. Nebraska, Detroit, Hilton Head, and you make your way to Atlanta, prime Knuck If You Buck time.
Oh, yeah. Perfect timing, actually. I'm like, I'll look at that time as like, that was like the springboard of Atlanta. Like, I literally got here as Atlanta was just jumping off. Yeah, man.
And what was that transition like for you? And you say you're 6th grade, so you know you're super young, but you have been in a lot of different places. You know, what kind of was it like getting into Atlanta and kind of getting embedded into school out here?
It was, man, it was cool, man. It was so cool because Atlanta, as you know, Atlanta has its own way of moving. Atlanta always has its own way of operating. And so coming down here and just like getting to experience the slang, how people was down to join you immediately.
Absolutely.
Man, and then for me, because of my dad being a military man, he had me in a uniform. And so, I was an easy target. And plus I had a big head, still do. I was an easy Joan target. But the thing is, hey, I could always Joan back.
You got
to. Yeah, and you got to. If you don't know how to hold your own, you're not gonna win. But because of that, that helped me gain a lot of friends. And, you know, because like if we're gonna crack jokes, we gotta have some type of good connection after that.
Absolutely.
You know. So it was a beautiful thing, man.
So you're doing school in what part of town were you like?
On the east side, man. Yeah, I was. I went to Stevenson Middle School, and then Stevenson High School, and then Tucker. So Stone Mountain and Tucker.
George, I don't know if have we ever talked about this?
Nah.
I grew up on the east side.
Oh, for real?
Stone Mountain.
Hey.
I went to Stevenson Middle School, Stevenson High School for 1 year.
Wow.
I don't feel like we've ever had this conversation.
No, we never had this conversation. That's kind of crazy. We probably had some overlap there, man.
My boy. We'll talk about this off camera.
Hey, shout out to the Jaguars, man.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Man, that's funny, man. So, I'm sorry. Now you're talking about Jonan.
Yeah.
Got you.
You know.
Okay, cool. So, I want to know how we end up at Georgia State. And I have so much context now. But why Georgia State?
Oh, man. The reason why I chose Georgia State was actually because of Stevenson High School. I was a part of the debate team at Stevenson High School with Dr. Man Martin. And every Wednesday, if you were a part of the debate team, they would take us down here to the underground. But specifically, we would go to Georgia State to attend some of like the debate classes that they had here with the debate team. And I remember coming up here and just being like so enthralled with like the fact that I was in the middle of Atlanta. And I was just walking around. I used to go over to the underground and get the 699 2-meat 2-side plate from one of the Chinese spots there. Yeah. And I was just so enthralled with the fact that like Georgia State was pretty much right in the center of it all. And I just fell in love. Like, it was the first place I applied for when I was like in college. I'm not in college, in high school. And I was dead set on going to Georgia State. Yeah, man. I knew that this was the place for me. Yeah.
What was it like once you finally got here?
Oh man, honestly, it was magical. I still say to this day, like, that first week of being at Georgia State it solidified that I knew I made the right decision.
Okay.
Like, just the fact that every single day I felt like I was meeting somebody new. I was seeing different parts of the scene, of the culture of Atlanta. And then on that Friday night when the very first Panther Prowl happened, I was on stage with Young Dro. It was like, for me, I was like, oh yeah, I made the right decision. I knew I needed to be here, you know?
So funny. You know, it touches my heart.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It touches my heart. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful place, and it still is. Like, there is a magic here that even in that first week, it told me that I could create anything here. Mm-hmm. You know? It demands that you create your experience here.
I definitely co-sign that. Mm-hmm. For the viewers, I also attended Georgia State, and I also was a Panther Prowl director, so it touches my heart. Magical is a good word. I want to know how your creativity was stimulated from drawing Dexter's Laboratory back in the day to now being in this magical place and living in different places along the way. Did your time at Georgia State, was there anything that really stimulated your artistic abilities or expressions or creativity?
Yes. I would say I came here wanting to be a graphic design major. And one of the things that I tasked myself with doing as soon as I got here was every single day I would go to the digital aquarium. I'll be in the digital aquarium literally from like 4 p.m. till close. And I would teach myself how to use the Adobe products.
You got to tell the people what the digital aquarium
man.
was.
So the digital aquarium contains no fishes. It only contains, probably all the equipment that you can ever ask for as a graphic designer, as a photographer, as a music maker. I'm like, they had a whole working studio in the back. They would teach you how to use Pro Tools. They would teach you how to use all of the Adobe products.
And this is as a student.
As a student, yes.
You could go in there, rent things out. People would take it for the weekend.
Yeah,
and you would just go create.
Yeah, it was so beautiful, man. Like, I met so many cool graphic designers there. Randomly, now I'm thinking about it, I remember seeing Father in there at one point.
One time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was before, like, he became dad, I guess. Yeah, man. It was a place where I was able to, like, bring a lot of my creative ideas to life. Absolutely. You know, I was always drawing in my sketchbook at this time, always creating things. I was even working on a clothing line at that point called Classic. Yep. And a lot of that started in the digital aquarium at Georgia State.
Wow. Did you spend time in the lab?
Oh, yeah, man. I was in the lab, that underground bunker.
Lab, man. A lot of the greats spent time in the digital aquarium and in the lab.
Yeah.
If you know what the lab is, you know what it is. If you had that passcode, if you would get in there, people would be in there grinding it out, head down, creating. So it makes sense you spent time in the lab. So obviously, sounds like Georgia State gave you an arena to experiment, to create, to try things out, and even some resources. And you said you came here to Georgia State for graphic design. Could you speak about what you majored in?
Graphic design. Majored in graphic design, was able to get into what I like to call the illustrious graphic design program at Georgia State. Because during my year, they only accept 24 people every year into that program. And so you have to literally go through about a year's full of like pre-graphic design classes and then build out a portfolio, present the portfolio to your eventual teachers and professors in the graphic design program. And I was selected.
That's
So,
incredible.
Yeah.
Congrats to you.
Thank
Congrats to you on that.
Yeah, man.
So I want to fast forward a bit until post-graduation, post-Georgia State. What was that transition like? What were you doing?
Oh, man. Okay. So as I said, majored in graphic design. So I immediately got a job at this place called Boxercraft, which I was working in the productions. I was working in the productions area of Boxercraft. Essentially, Boxercraft is this large apparel company. They produce a lot of stuff for like cheerleading events, tennis matches, anything that's along those lines. They pretty much produce clothing for it. And so I was working as one of the graphic designers on the production team. Gotcha. So we would get the graphics ready for post-production and like printing.
Gotcha.
I only worked there 9 months, but in that 9 months, I was promoted twice.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked only 3 months for my original job on the production team. They found out that I had experience operating a DTG machine. Truly, I only saw a DTG machine, and I put that on my resume.
And can you tell the people what a DTG machine is?
A DTG machine means a direct-to-garment printing machine. So essentially think about like a regular Epson printer, how it prints back and forth on a piece of paper. Essentially, you're able to do that with a T-shirt. You load up a T-shirt, and it prints a full-color graphic on that. But
more of an expensive style as well.
More of an expensive style of printing.
Yes.
And at that time, it was still something that was trying to get up and coming. But they, once I told them I had experience with a DTG machine.
And you didn't?
I did not have experience. Like I said, I only saw a DTG machine, but I put that on the app and said I saw it. And they was like, wow, you have a lot of experience. We need help with our DTG program here at the company. Would you like to run that? Yeah. I said, okay. I'm a firm believer in YouTube University and Google Tech. So I took hold of that position and taught myself how to operate and repair a DTG machine. So I ran that side of their business for about a good 3 or 4 months. And then they asked to promote me one more time to be a full-time graphic designer there. And that's when I gave them a 3 days notice.
What made you make that decision?
I'm a firm believer in if I'm going to do something, I'm going to commit myself 100%.
Gotcha.
That was the type of company and environment where a lot of the people that work there, man, they really only wanted to put in like 25% of effort. Like, they would show up to that job on time and express how much they hate it. And for me personally, it's like, why are you coming here on time to a place you hate? Like, that doesn't make sense. And like, I didn't like the fact that I could give 75% of my effort and it would be rewarded handsomely. I felt like that just wasn't a place that was conducive to like me actually excelling and being great. So I decided to leave and pursue like doing graphic design and event programming full time. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? You're tuned in to Connecting the Dots podcast, brought to you by Level Up Development, the #1 professional development resource hub, equipping young professionals with the information, relationships, and experience needed to navigate their journey. Explore our suite of professional development resources, including our video library, events, digital playbooks, one-on-one advisement, access to our professional community, and much more by visiting levelupdevelopment.world. I was going to say, how do we get to the artist that the world knows as George Baker the third? How do we
get there?
How do we get there?
Okay, so quick thing. After quitting, I tried that out for like 4 months. It wasn't working out as good as I thought it was. So
Trying out what exactly?
Trying to be like a full-time artist.
Gotcha. Okay.
So trying to like use my artistry and my graphic design sensibilities to like really make a name for myself. So I was working a lot of festivals. I was, doing graphic design jobs for a whole bunch of random brands. Freelancing like crazy. Things wasn't really working out money-wise. And so I decided I was going to work at Danger Press, which is a screen printing company based here in Atlanta, Georgia. Kind of doing the same exact job I was doing at Boxercraft. But I was able to work with T-shirts. They allowed us to like print T-shirts on the weekends. It was a very beautiful time. But while working there, kind of had that same itch of like, I love working here, but I don't think that this is going to be the best environment for me to do the thing that I want.
Yeah.
So I put my 2 weeks notice in at that job after a year and a half, and I decided to take the leap. And I told myself the only thing that I knew I wanted to do was just draw. So for the 4 months after leaving, I drew every single day for like 10 hours, all day. Just drawing.
So what were you drawing? Where are you even?
I was getting back into doing a lot of like the characters that I draw today. Also doing a lot of like drawing different phrases, working on a lot of my like calligraphy. Cool. I just knew that I wanted to do that. I didn't know how I wanted to make money, but I knew I had about a good 6 months of like runway to like figure things out.
Yeah.
So for 4 months, or after that 4 month period in April, a good friend of mine from Georgia State that I went to my graphic design classes with, Andy Hu. Never forget this man. He hits me up out the blue and was like, "Hey man, I got this cool project at my job at Edelman, which is a advertising company here." He was like, "They're looking to hire an artist to do a mural. Would you want to try one out?" I was like, "Man, I've never done a mural before." He said, "Do you want to try?" So I said, "Yeah, okay." Knowing me, I like to dive into things that feel interesting, even if I don't know how to do them. And so, after getting off the phone with him, I'm all excited. I'm like, "Oh man, this is dope." And it quickly hit me that I have no idea what I'm doing. And so, like with anything, I went to YouTube, typed in how to be a muralist, and that's kind of where everything really started.
And I know today, graphic design, illustration, digital illustration.
Yeah.
At the time of you taking on your first mural project and not having any experience doing a mural, what is your skill set looking like?
My skill set at that point was I had graphic design experience. Also, because while I was at Georgia State, I was the concert director here for a little bit. So I had a lot of...
Concert director where? Let the people know.
Oh, excuse me. I was the concert director for Spotlight at Georgia State. Yeah, that was a fun and interesting year. I was also a part of the team that invented Pantherpalooza. I don't know if they even still do that, but yeah, that was a good time. But because of that, I had a lot of time management, event planning experience, knew how to like really design and create spaces for people to have good enjoyment and fun community. So I had that in my bag.
And did any of that, do you think any of that kind of helped you with this project of a mural that you had no idea what you're doing? Yeah, because I look at a lot of event production as like thriving in chaos. And please say it again.
Yeah, a lot of event production is thriving in chaos, and finding the structure within that chaos to present something beautiful. You know, a lot of times, you know, we go to a lot of events that are like, wow, that was so good, but you don't know there is duct tape that is holding this whole thing together, you know? And that's a beautiful thing. But I think that because I had that experience, I knew that once I got into the thick of it with painting, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm literally taking these buckets of paint, this wall, and these brushes to kind of create something beautiful. I'm thriving in chaos to make something beautiful for people.
So you got your first mural done. Obviously, it happened.
Yeah.
Was it received well by Andy and the client?
So you want to know something funny about Andy and the client? I submitted for that job and I ended up not getting it. So that wasn't even my first mural, but that gave me a taste of what that community, that whole entire like subset of art was like. And so I had a thirst for it. So what I started to do from there was I sought out opportunities to make my first mural happen, which came at Switchyards, which is a co-working space that's here in Atlanta, and now they're moving like all over the place. But I did my very first mural at Switchyards, and it was received incredibly well.
So I need you to clarify that.
Yes.
Andy calls you for this mural. You say yes. What happened with that one?
I said yes. I submitted my artwork for it, and then they went with another artist.
Okay. But from there, you're like, hey, I want to explore more of this mural stuff.
Yeah.
And then this Swish Yards opportunity came.
Yep, Switchyards opportunity came, and they gave me, it's still so wild to think about this, they gave me an entire space in their basement that they were renovating to become a new spot for their co-working space. They were like, you design it, you come up with the design for it, we'll pay for all the paint, and you just execute.
And this is basically being trusted off of your graphic design and digital, skills.
Yes, and the fact that they said, the owner, Michael Devani, came up to me, he was like, hey, George, you do murals, right? And I said, at that point, I still have yet to do a mural. And I said, yeah. He's like, man, okay, you want to do this mural? Yeah. I just committed.
I don't know if you remember this, but you gave me a tour of that space.
Yep, I do remember.
You do remember that. I'm putting the context behind that now. Okay, so you jump into this first mural project.
Yes.
How did that go? Like,
man, it went as terrifying as you could expect, because as soon as I got up to the wall with all the paint and all my supplies, I froze, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
and you're basically taking your YouTube,
YouTube University experience.
and you say you're just about to jump in.
Yeah, about to jump in and figure it out.
And you get up to the wall, and it's terrifying.
It's incredibly terrifying. I can still remember it. I had the chalk in my hand to like chalk out my actual design, and I just froze, and I had a panic attack. I was like, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just spent all this money to grab all this paint. I'm not going to be able to do this. And I took a second, let that breathe for a minute, and I was like, well, we'll just have to figure it out. And I just started painting, literally put a little bit of paint on the wall, just to say, okay, now I have to commit. I can't back out now. Okay. I have kind of messed up this wall, so let's figure out what we can create.
How did it go? How did it end there?
It ended it so magically. Like I came out with this very, very beautiful design that literally made that whole entire space what it was. So at first it was just plywood, but with my artistic sensibilities, my use of design and color, I was able to create this beautiful, beautiful space for people, and people still love it. Like I remember posting a picture on it, posting like a picture about it on Instagram, standing in the middle of it. and people just gravitated. They
Yeah.
loved it. A lot of them, like my peers, like, oh, I didn't know you do murals now, and it just, I don't know. For me, it gave me this love and connection of all the things that I've always loved doing. Like I still love to this day making things for people.
Absolutely.
That's my whole jam. I
Yeah.
love making things for people and creating spaces for people to like feel their best selves. And murals really gave me that opportunity to kind of collide both of those loves together.
I tip my hat to you for this consistent theme of saying yes and jumping into things even when you might not know how or have experience with it. I think that speaks to your confidence and your belief in yourself. And I think that's something that some people have a hard time with. I even know, for myself, I have challenges there as well. So I just tip my hat to you in that regard.
Thank you.
From there, you've gone to do some incredible things. From working to do murals for AT&T in Midtown to, I believe it was a playground in Bonnaroo.
Yep.
And then you've even worked with brands like Patagonia. You did that awesome Levi's. I don't even know what to call that.
A little workshop. We'll go with that.
A workshop. And you even did a project in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did.
Could you speak about, from doing that first switch yards to being able to do all these different things, like when you kind of reflect, like, what do you think? Like, how would you say you got there? How did you grow? Like, you were terrified at first, and your talents took you all the way to Tokyo. How?
I feel like the only thing that I know is consistently true is that I have never been afraid to try something and mess up and for it to not look good, I'm not afraid to try something and it not meet my own expectations, because there's been a lot of moments, even with all of those projects that you named, where I had to face moments of failure or things not working out in the way that I wanted. And I think for me, the thing that I've always kept true is I'm just trying to figure this out, because I feel like everybody is just trying to figure this life thing out.
Yep.
Like, even with all those projects, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I would figure it out as long as I just kept on stepping up to the plate. Yeah. I'm always willing to try, and even if I make a fool of myself, I made something, and I can keep on making something.
I'm curious to, yes, I do know. As you look over, your journey, what would you say has been like some key lessons you've learned?
Key lessons. I would say that no matter what you do, you are always making things for people. And so people are paramount and need to be the first thing you consider in whatever you do. So many times we get so bogged down in the details of whatever that we're creating that we forget that we're still making it for people. And so you need to make sure that you're keeping people first in whatever you do. Like, I feel like that's been the key to all the success that I've had, is just I'm always here to invest in people. Another key thing is, still on the people thing, is be willing to give 5 more minutes to anybody that you encounter. Because if you do that and you don't just treat every interaction as a transactional experience, you can actually learn a lot and connect with a person deeply. Just be willing to give a person just 5 extra minutes. I'm like, you don't know how far that's going to go to helping that person either feel comfortable or even, it could possibly lead to something greater. I feel like because of that, I've been able to develop so many strong and close connections that are genuine, that aren't just about networking. They're actual factual friendships that I have with people. Even with the clients that I work with, they feel the closest to me because I'm willing to ask them about their day and really want to know more about it. Because I try to be genuine. It's a big, I feel like it's a soft skill, but it's something that if you don't recognize early, it can really limit how much you can elevate yourself out here. Mm-hmm.
I think that's great to share.
Mm-hmm.
And you even talked about kind of like working with clients.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the pleasure to work with some pretty reputable brands.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can share about maybe some best practices or things to consider when it comes to working with brands or major brands as an artist or creative in general? Anything you've learned there in particular?
Yeah, I can share two things. One is if you're looking to work with a brand, don't be afraid to cold call and to let them know who you are. I always lead with the expectation that nobody knows who I am. So I'm going to introduce myself no matter what. And say, hi, my name is George F. Baker III. Nice to meet you. And I do this a lot of times with brands and agencies that represent brands. A lot of times I'm the first person to reach out. I will cold email you. I will cold call you at a drop of a dime just because I want to make sure that you know who I am. It's the only way that they're going to be aware enough to want to work with you.
Yep.
On the second tip is if you're actually working with a brand, don't be afraid to be the most authentic version of you and to let them know, this is where we need to be. Because a lot of times brands get so very protective of their stories, as they should. Yeah. They get very protective of how they feel like their story should go and should look for whatever community that they're working with. Don't be afraid to be very authentic with who you are. And even if that is standing a little cat-a-corner to wherever they are, let them know, hey, you're more than welcome to come to where I'm at because you're involved in where I'm at too, and a lot of those brands, they love that. They really do, because that's how you get the most authentic connection, not only between you and the brand, but you, the brand, and then the people that you're serving.
What's up, y'all? You're tuned in to Connecting the Dots podcast, brought to you by Level Up Development, the #1 professional development resource hub, equipping young professionals with the information, relationships, and experience needed to navigate their journey. Explore our suite of professional development resources, including our video library, events, digital playbooks, one-on-one advisement, access to our professional community, and much more by visiting levelupdevelopment.world. I think it's important that, entities are meeting in a place that's in the middle of some sort. And being authentic, I think, is important, especially when, you're super creative, and that's even kind of what you're bringing to an organization. So thank you for sharing that.
No worries.
And I mentioned a bunch of these projects that you did. Would you mind just sharing what's been your favorite project, man?
Ooh. Oh, man. My favorite project thus far has probably been the Bonnaroo Music Festival that I painted last year. I had the opportunity to paint the Mushroom Fountain for that festival. It's a very well-known fountain. Every single year they invite a new artist to paint the whole entire fountain. It's a working fountain, so a lot of the people that actually attend there that are staying and camping at Bonnaroo for 4 or 5 days, they go out there in the fountain and, hey, man, they get wet out there. They clean themselves out, they dance in it. I even had the opportunity to see somebody propose at the fountain, which was mad beautiful. He literally got on his knee in a working fountain, that people were washing themselves in. It was wild. Kudos to that man. I know he loves her. Um, but I feel like that was one of my favorite projects because over a 10-day period, I got to paint with two of my very, very close mural friends,
That's super cool.
Jalil Oskiade and Yo-Yo Kim. And it was a magical experience just painting with them. But I would say what made it so fun and so interesting was while we were out there painting, one of the festival workers told me that his young daughter was also an artist. And so, I told him to invite her over the next day. She can come paint with us for a little bit as like a mural assistant, right? What I did not know was that she would show up the next day with a full sketch of what she wanted to paint.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm a firm believer in a rewarding audacity, no matter what.
Rewarding audacity.
I reward audacity. Like if you're gonna be audacious with me, hey, I'm gonna reward it.
That's cool.
And so I let her paint her design in one of the eye patches of one of my characters. So she was able to like literally have a space within my mural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And so
That's what's up.
it was beautiful. It's still a project that holds a lot of space in my heart.
That's really cool, man. And there's so many other things I really want to talk about. But one thing I want to talk about is your dance break 3D sculpture.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like what's up with that?
Yeah.
Like you had a whole 3D sculpture.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's more to come on that.
Yeah, that sculpture, that dance break sculpture was pretty cool. That was a part of my my first solo show with Cat Eye Gallery called Little Reminders. And that was my first foray into like bringing my characters into like the 3D space. I worked with this company that was based out in India that does 3D printing and digital imaging. And so literally I designed like a flat 2D image, sent it out to them, and worked with them on doing the whole entire sculpting process.
Super cool.
And man, when they sent me the first images of it, cried.
Yeah.
Crazy seeing my work in that space.
Yep.
Then when I actually got them again, of course, I shed another tear on just the right side that time, just the right side, and painted that whole sculpture. And it just, seeing your work in like real 3D meat space is still just always crazy to me. And even looking at that, it brought me so much joy to where now I am working on trying to increase the size a substantial bit to have a full sculpture that I can place around Atlanta for people to interact with.
That's really, really cool, man. I look forward to when that actually comes to fruition.
Soon come.
You said I do recall you having your solo show. How many shows have you had thus far that you were a part of?
Ooh, that I was a part of. So I've done the one solo show, but I've been a part of, probably more than like 45 exhibitions in the city and outside of the city. Yeah.
Do you think that's important for artists to, be a part of shows?
Yes, I think it's incredibly important because it's not only a way to showcase your work to a whole new audience that, probably either does or does not know you, but also it's a cool way to fellowship with all the other artists, trying to see like, okay, I see what styles they're doing, or, just getting to meet the people behind the work. It's always pretty cool. Yeah.
I love that, man. I didn't realize you've been a part of that many shows. I need you to let me know when the next one's happening so I can make it out.
Heck yeah, come through, man. I got you.
Super cool, man. I want to ask you this. I want to know what would you say has been your top 3 skills that have really played a part in your journey? And mind you, we've left out so many different things here.
Yeah.
But curious to know what you would say.
Top 3 skills. One is I know how to genuinely connect with anybody. I love people. That's That's something that's always been paramount to me. I'm always more interested in everybody else than myself. I spend every day with myself. I ain't that interested. Um,
You're very interesting.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I would say that's probably my top skill. Second skill would be the fact that I'm never afraid to try out something that I've never done before.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Third skill, my third skill is I'm a great researcher. I know how to find anything. I know how to find what I'm looking for, and once I get my sights set on like a goal, I know how to look it up. I'm a child of the internet, baby. I know how to either find a contact, find who else is doing something that I'm very interested in, finding opportunities for the work that I do, or even finding ways to, figure out some of the problems that I'm working through. I always know how to research.
Research, skill. I think, is really important. Is there any best practices you would share with people who are just when it comes to research?
Okay, I got you.
I'm with
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, in anything that you're looking to research, you want to find the language that you need to speak to learn the things that you're looking to acquire. Like jargon, basically jargon is a word that basically means the language that you're speaking in a particular community or job or whatever. And so most of the things that you're trying to find, you just don't know the language that they speak yet to actually understand it and find it. So, for example, if you're looking for art opportunities, right, you may just look up artist opportunities. That's not going to always lead you to find the well that you're looking to drink from. So you want to learn a term like RFP or RFQ, which means request for proposals and request for qualifications. Once again, learning the language that they speak to give you the opportunities that you're seeking. Once you learn that, you start to understand, if I just search this, I could find some opportunities, some artist opportunities for myself.
That's a great point.
Yeah, you start, once you find the language for whatever that you're trying to do, it can expand exponentially anything that you're trying to make possible. You learn that, you good, baby.
I think that's really, really, really critical. And I think that connects a lot of dots. Because if you are looking for X, but your process to find X, you are speaking Y, it decreases the likelihood of finding X.
Yeah, man, you're going to fail that math equation, dog.
You silly, man. I wish we had more time. What I would like to do is give you the floor to share anything that we were not able to get to and anything that you would like to leave with our audience.
Okay. I would say the main thing that I would want people to leave with from this talk is don't be afraid to try out something that you believe in. Like, you can always figure out the best way to make it possible. I'm a firm believer, we only connect the dots looking back. So anything that you're partaking in, look back at your life and see what skills you can bring into it to make it possible.
Look back at your life and see what skills you can bring into it. I think that's pretty poetic, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I kind of want you to go one step deeper on it.
Okay.
What do you really mean when you say that? And even beyond that, I feel like it's something you practice. How would you suggest somebody go about doing that?
I would suggest that you take some time within yourself to like look back at your life and think about all the things that brought you joy. Like just little moments that brought you a lot of joy. Because what you may not realize, you were naturally operating in ways that like people pay large amount of monies for at institutions to learn. Like you don't know, like when you were cooking with your mother and you're making cookies or building out these dishes, you were basically being a creative director in so many ways. And if you love those like same like skills of crafting and creating and curating like a dish for your family, you can bring those same skills and those same sensibilities to whatever that you're trying to create. Absolutely. Yeah, so I always like to mind my life and think about all the different things I've seen, all the different things that I've done, and see like if I can bring those natural inclinations to make something beautiful for myself.
Looking back on your life and identifying all the things that brought you joy is really powerful, man.
Yeah.
I think that's an exercise we should all make sure we do or continue to do.
Amen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. This is Connecting the Dots, brought to you by Level Up Development. Connecting the Dots is the #1 podcast for professional development. My name is Adonis Hill, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Visit levelupdevelopment.world for our full video library and to access our professional development resources.